Hello gamers around the world, welcome to Game Breaking News, where I bring you everything important that happened last week in the world of gaming. And man, last week we got not only news regarding all major consoles, but also news for the PC as well. In addition to that, last week was a week of announcements. One of them was Codemasters Dirt 4. Man, that came out of the blue, and it's already scheduled for release in June this year. They already had a playable version ready for the press, and the ones that could get their hands on it are pretty pleased so far. Honestly, that's the kind of announcements I like. Not too much, not too big, and enough information to make it look promising. Like 50 cars in-game, and also what seems to be an infinite amount of racetracks. And most importantly, it's only half a year till release. Enough time to get on the hype train if you like to, but not too long to overdo it. Codemasters, well done. Well, while on the other hand, there was also the announcement of Pillars of Eternity 2. And honestly, I'm not sure I like it how Obsidian did it. So they announced it as a crowdfunding campaign, and they didn't even need 24 hours to reach the goal of 1.5 million. So for me, it doesn't seem that Obsidian really needs the money to fund the development of the game. For me, it seems like another form of pre-order. Sorry guys, that's not what crowdfunding is for. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of how Obsidian did it, but hey, it's Pillars of Eternity 2. Old school RPG from Obsidian. What can go wrong there? Well, exactly nothing. What also came as a surprise last week was the announcement of Apocalypse Now, the game. Also as a crowdfunding campaign, so apparently they were working on the game for quite some time now and want to use the campaign to make sure that not some stupid publisher turns the game into some stupid action game. Because interestingly enough, this game is supposed to become an open world stealth RPG. Man, who would have thought of that? Now, that sure sounds interesting, and there are former developers from games like Fallout New Vegas, Far Cry and Wasteland 2. But at the moment, the campaign is not looking very promising. It's hard to tell why, but I really doubt that they will reach the goal of $900,000. Seriously guys, I can't put my finger on it. Why do you think the campaign isn't working out? I really would like to get some input on that. Alright, enough with the announcements already, right? Well, think again, because Marvel and Square Enix announced a partnership for the next coming years, spanning multiple games around the Marvel universe. And they announced already the first game, known as the Avengers Project, that is coming out in 2018. We don't know much really about this game, but if I may give you a little bit of advice, Square and Marvel, please do not schedule the game release according to the movie releases. That will only break the game, believe me. I know. Hello, it's the Game Breaking News here. Now, if you still do that, well, I will start kicking some Marvel asses over there, seriously. Not Stan Lee though, he got absolution. Oh, keyword ass kicking. Well, we also have a release date for Tekken VII, which is going to be June the 2nd this year. Oh yeah, it's time to break some thumbs. Oh, and also the EA marketing team had, of course, its weekly Mass Effect Andromeda diarrhea showing us the crew of the ship. And well, there's not really that much special going on there, except, wait, damn, that's a little hardy right there. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to fuck her, right? Ah, of course. Nice. Alright, speaking of getting fucked, Hideo Kojima has started to talk a bit about what happened between him and Konami. That company that he worked for decades and then got fired. Well, we still don't know exactly what happened, but it's mostly as I thought. Konami had money problems, and Kojima, the perfectionist diva, artist that he is, needed more time and therefore money to complete Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. Well, obviously that didn't really work out. And now if you're asking yourself how deep is Konami's money problem, well, here's the ugly truth. while we're at the topic of butthurt fired game developers, Leslie Benzies, former producer of the GTA series, did found a bunch of new companies. One for mobile games, one for VR games, and much more. But most notably, there is also already a trademark for a game named Time for a New World. What a name, eh? Now, we don't know anything else about this, but I'm sure as hell that I don't mind having some more games that are as good as the GTA games. I doubt it that they will be, but if they're only half as good, I'll play them and they're gonna be good. Anyway, if there are any news to that, you'll get them here on Game Breaking News. Speaking of overly successful gold mines, Overwatch reached a player count of over 25 freaking million. That is not sold copies, but that is still one impressive number. Almost as impressive as the number 2 I pushed out 5 minutes before I started the show. Man, I still can't really shit properly. Okay, I don't own Destiny, but my question is, do you own it? Are you playing it, and why? Or why not? I'd like to know that because, well, what makes this game so good or so successful? I don't really get it, but then again, I've never played it. On the other hand, I have played Resident Evil 7, and you should check out my review on that. But 25 million, that seems like an unreachable number for Resident Evil 7. Sure, Capcom announced that they have shipped 25 million copies and they somehow count them as sold copies. I think this is an interesting way of counting sold copies. But okay, they have set themselves a goal of 4 million sold copies, and I think this is a quite reachable goal and also well deserved. And it's not like other developers who are thinking that they can sell 10 million copies of a game series that they just rebooted. Okay, I'm not telling names. They know what they did. And finally, some good news for Horizon Zero Dawn. The apparently new love child of Sony is not getting any microtransactions. That's Guerrilla's game Twitter account right here. Now, this is not really newsworthy, but seriously guys, in today's times, I think I gotta point things out like that, because no microtransactions in a purely single-player game cannot be taken for granted anymore, sadly. Oh man. Alright, this is getting too sad now. I need to cheer up. Let's take a break. Let's take a short break by looking at evidence that you should never, ever take drugs before you go on stage.
Sorry, I'm sick. On behalf of this fearless and talented cast, we would like to thank, oh, it's so heavy. We'd like to thank Netflix, Sean, Matt, and I would just like to say that it celebrated Stranger Things, but this award from you who take your craft seriously and earnestly believe, like me, that great acting can change the world is a call to arms from our fellow craft self-centeredness and exclusivity, and through our craft to cultivate a more society by revealing intimate truths that serve as a forceful reminder to I'm tired. They are all human beings, and we are all together. Exciting and mysterious ride that is being Stranger Things. We 1983 Midwesters will repel bullies. We will hunt monsters. And when we are at a loss amidst the hypocrisy and the casual violence, punch some people in the face when they seek to destroy ability. Thank you. This is unreal.
But damn, I sure as hell wouldn't mind some of that stuff. Alright, let's talk about hardware. And this time we'll start with the Nintendo Switch, where it seems that the available units for the Japanese market at release are already running low. That's some good news. More consoles mean more games. And guess what? More games mean more consoles. That's a cycle that the Wii U just never managed to reach. So it's looking good, Nintendo. Also good is that there are 3 more titles at launch for the Switch. One of them is World of Goo, for example, and sure, they are all older games and available via the eShop, but damn, with that lame lineup they have at release, I'm taking everything. Also, in an interview, the developers of Rocket League said that they are looking into the Switch. So that's pretty vague, but I think the Rocket League is quite perfect for the Switch, but they are not really sure about that and if it's coming or not. And hey, Rocket League would sure be a system seller. No, wait. Is there any system out there that has not Rocket League so far? Well, it's the Switch, but other than that... Ah, man. Wait a minute. Isn't there also another console released this year? Right, the Xbox One Scorpio, and it seems that there was some information leaked in the form of a white paper about the hardware that's going to be used. Now, the biggest thing to draw from that is that Scorpio won't use ESRAM anymore, but will use RAM. Now, if you want detailed information about that, check out the video of Digital Foundry, and you'll find the link in the description. But simply put, that should make the Scorpio much more powerful, and the white paper actually reads pretty well. I mean, there seems to be coming along a really strong console. The problem remains that the original Xbox One and the One S still use ESRAM, and Microsoft doesn't allow games exclusively for the Scorpio or One S. So the problem is that either the Scorpio will be held back by the weak Xbox One original, or Microsoft will break the promise of making Xbox One games available on all versions. Well, we'll see. But hey, Microsoft can surely use some good news and progress and success with the Xbox One, since reports say that compared to 2015, in the year 2016, the hardware revenue dropped by about 25% over the holidays. That's a lot. But there's good news as well, because there are over 55 million active Xbox Live users. That's more than ever before, and the software sales are rising as well. So yeah, the Xbox is not doing bad. No, it's far from it, but it is struggling a bit and could surely do better. Well, on the other hand, Sony's executives are looking at their numbers and jerk off to 400 million sold game copies for the PlayStation 4. That's about 7.7 games per console on average. So just in comparison, when the PlayStation 2 had sold 50 million consoles, it had sold about 300 million sold copies. Now, sure, today we have PlayStation Network and sales happening all the time and so on, and also indie games, but damn, 400 million. Sony, congratulations. Just don't become that cocky bastard you became after the PlayStation 2 or Microsoft became after the 360. Just stay cool, Sony. Stay cool. And the final news today for last week concerns the PC Master Race. Alright, this news is from an analyst group, and well, last episode I was shitting on them, but this time it's a bit different because this is based on current data, not some prediction bullshit. Sure, there's always room for error and doubt, but analyzing the current state is based on data, facts, and math, while predictions are based on data, facts, and a fuck ton of bullshit. So what's the news? Well, it looks like the PC hardware market has reached over 30 billion worldwide in 2016. Gamers are apparently more willing than ever to buy high-end hardware and to play with nice graphics, infinite FPS, VR, mods, and much more. Or, well, maybe they just spent $3,000 to play Minecraft with 240 FPS, but who knows. The important thing is, fuck you analysts who were saying that the PC gaming is dying. You were saying that for decades now, seriously, and you are more wrong than ever. It's stronger than ever before. I mean, look at Steam, look at Good Old Games, look at Humble Bumble, and much more. That is all evidence that, yes, it's true the PC market as a whole is declining, but the PC gaming market is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson solid. Alright, before we remember that the nightmare called Fast and the Furious is still going on. Oh man, this is some real bullshit serious. God damn it. Let me just end this video right here. Enjoy your week. Make sure to subscribe and to like. Tell me in the comments below how many games do you own on your console, because I'm actually a bit too afraid to ask the number of games on your Steam account. And I will see you in the next game breaking news.